on the win. You must be building a bit of belief in this new team now, 2 games in and 2 pretty good wins.
Yeah, 7 guys on debut the other night, and so it kind of triggered me a little bit. Just like, oh, that might be the most players kind of new I've ever had since we've been here. But we felt a pretty good chemistry through the pre-season, and we had some elite starts in a few games as well, and that kind of followed through tonight with the group that we put on the floor with Shay and Tyson together, and what we wanted out of them was to make the other team's point guards worry, and I thought those 2 were good enough to set the tone and get that done tonight.
Jesse had a pretty good game, a number of others. What really impressed you in today's performance?
Yeah, Jesse was. We thought the other night that he could have easily had 20 points, so we thought he had enough really good looks around the rim, and for whatever reason a couple just popped out, and then I looked at the stats at 3/4 time. I think he's 8 of 8 and finishes 9 of 10 for the game, and so the guys are looking for him. They're starting to understand his spots, but I think in the elbow area where he's starting to create some driving angles and things as well, and solid from the foul line again tonight. So I'm excited about the upside of him as he continues to learn our system more and more, and how we continue to use his length and athleticism.
I think the first 10 points came from shots from less than 2 metres away, and then 25 of the first 34 points in the first quarter were also from less than 2 metres away. Was that an area you targeted pre-game?
Yeah, I think having Finn, he's such an elite screener, and you put him in a screening situation with Shay or Tyson, and I think teams have got to they've got to pick their coverage. Are they willing to switch and put a smaller guy on him? I'll let them kind of figure it out what they need to try and do. But he's a problem. And his screening angles and his movement to the next action is causes a lot of problems. And then if you help and you got Jesse around the rim and shooters in the corners, there's a lot of good offense that can be created about Finn setting screens for us.
And to do this without Chris Goring as well, that must have a bit of excitement now when he returns, and what this team can potentially become, and that further progression that you could gain from his return.
Yeah, we need we've got a really good group. There's going to be guys that are disappointed, on different nights with their court time and different things. But I think we're in a really good place that if everybody knows that they keep working hard, and I have to reward people throughout the year to say, the work that you're doing on the practice floor, the things that you're doing in games. If you're doing that something better than someone else, so I have to reward you with the minutes. And so, we want to get Chris to a point where he's ready to come straight back in and play a significant role, not come in and play 5 or 10 minutes and get him ready. We really want him to be ready when he comes back to have a really good impact.
On that note, you were able to get minutes into 13 different players tonight. Was that planned work-life management, or did the big lead offer you a bit of extra flexibility to do that?
No, definitely the big lead. And, we kind of go into games planning to play 10 or maybe 11, but the opportunity rose tonight to see some of our guys have been working really hard to see some extra minutes. But I thought Dash's first time he came in the game. We saw Tyson and Shay and him coming in as another elite defender, causing really good problems at the defensive end for other teams. And then, thought we talked about his offensive game. I thought he made really good decisions and attacked the paint well tonight.
Dean, I wanted to ask you a question on Milton Doyle. Obviously, he's coming now, started both games. How do you think he's fit into both your system and the culture trying to build the team?
Yeah, unbelievably. He's, there's talk of him after he finishes playing wanting to be a coach, and you see it. He's does a great job with, putting little wrinkles on what I put out there and finding better ways. And they're the fun guys to coach when they're just trying to make your system better from what they see. And then he's been able to coach it in a way and sell it to his teammates that they get on the same page. And I think that's a really good skill for a player that wants to be a coach later on is how they get their message across really simply. And he does that in a really calm way.
You're a bit surprised. He said that he didn't really have a contract on the table after last season. Are you a bit surprised by that? And now to see the way he started this season, you must be really pleased with his output.
Yeah, he was always a target for us. We wanted to have another closer on our team and someone who can create their own shot. And we didn't need as much as that tonight, but you saw it in the Tassie game the other night that his ISO possessions on once we created a switch that we liked. There's no one better in the league in those big moments. So we're happy to have him.
And Dash, for you tonight, 14 points. You must have been pleased to contribute. And how did you see the game?
Yeah, I mean, it felt good. First game in JCA, so the fans are great. It's just great to get out, get the win. Team played great team ball, so it was good.
Dean, in games like this, some teams can sort of subconsciously take their foot off the gas. What's the message then at halftime to keep really putting the foot on the throat of the brakes and push this lead out?
Yeah, we understood that we've had some travel and coming back from Japan and traveling to here, and so we really thought if we can continue to have the ball pressure all night, that somewhere hopefully we create an advantage. So there's still some things for us to fix at halftime, and we probably didn't rebound the way that we wanted to in the second half, and fourth quarter we set a goal to try and keep them to, and we quite didn't get that done. So there's some things that we'll go back and we're going to play a very good team in Southeast next Thursday in the first throwdown, and we'll have to be better tonight to go ahead and get ready for that one.
What inefficiencies do you feel you sort of tidied up over the off-season to sort of maybe go one step further this year?
We've just been preaching with this group about the pace of play, and with Tyson and Shea, really pushing the ball, and it's been creating good offense for us. It's been getting us to the foul line by putting people out of positions, but then the connectors of the group with Finn and KB and those guys just moving the basketball really quickly to the next action, and that's helped everybody get involved and created good advantages for us. So, be two areas I'm happy with.
Dash, what do you feel you've sort of learned the most so far in this NBL season?
Really just how physical it is. You got to be ready for your big moment. Every time you come out on the floor, you got to be ready to get over screens, rebound, just all the 1%ers. So I'd say that's the biggest change. Just bigger bodies, got to adapt quicker, and that's pretty much it. People
talk about the culture at Melbourne United, and I guess how great it is. How seamless has it sort of been for you to transition into, I guess, this environment?
Yeah, I mean, it's been unbelievable. It's a great team to be around, and the players and coaching staff also, make it so much better as well. Just having those leaders and people by your side that just make that culture so much better.
Dash, you played 20 minutes tonight, the third most out of any of your teammates, and significantly more than you played against Tasmania on Thursday. What's it like knowing that even if you have to wait for your opportunity coming off the bench, maybe not playing as much as you would like against Tasmania, you know that eventually when you get this opportunity, you're going to have a game like you did today?
I mean, it's always just next man up. You got to be ready, ready for your moment. I put all my trust in, the coaching staff and my teammates and all that. So whatever they feel is best for the team and what's going to, help us win, I'm all aboard for that.
Dash, do you feel like you're learning a lot? Like the progression from week to week is like 8 minutes last week, 20 today. Do you feel like you're learning a lot and it's all happening really quickly?
Yeah, for sure. I'm learning everything, day by day, as I said. Just the little things, the defensive schemes, knowing where I can get those steals, just being up and in the body and pressuring full court, 94 feet. So that's a big emphasis for our team, just having that pressure all game. So, yeah, I'm learning a lot.
Dash, as a young guy, how do you sort of, try and balance, being able to, find your shots and get your shots with, playmaking and, being that pass-first sort of team guy as well?
Yeah, that all comes with the transition. So with Tyson and Shea pushing that pace, that's what I like to do as well, and kind of being that second off the ball and being able to get to my spots and have that rip on the ring and stuff. So just knowing where I can get those shots, and that's pretty much just studying the game.
Dean, with Chris's return, when will we expect that? Is that going to be next round? And when he does return, will it be like him at 100%?
Yeah, like I said before, the goal is to have him ready to play significant minutes, and so I'll get told by the medical staff when he's at that point. But we want to get a number of really good practices into him before we think he's ready to go. So whether that's the NBA game after that one, I can't tell you, but we'll just make sure his body's prepared for the rest of the season and ready to go.